The movie was striking because it was showing a woman who was in conflict, and seemed like her ambivalence was being painted on the screen. So you have these two characters that are, and she's shifting in between from one to the other. And that's actually a rare disorder called dissociative identity disorder. So the film kind of represented to me somebody who's, their weaker, more vulnerable side, and then this kind of stronger, more like protective side. You have a strong version of her in the film, and then the more vulnerable one. I see people who undergo tremendous trauma as being resilient, where they have to go to work each day. So you almost have to have that stronger sensibility about you, and the happy face that you can present to the world. I have people come in and I say hi to them in my waiting room, and then we go behind closed doors and they totally emote and break down, and it's really fascinating to shift. And they say, this is how I present myself to the world, the happy side. So people who are traumatized can still be resilient and hold together as adults. But this is what I find fascinating about the job. When I'm interviewing somebody in a psychiatric interview, they will kind of present their best self. They're nervous a little bit, and we get into it, and then over time, you see this the vulnerability come through, and their kind of authentic suffering that they're going through. I think strong people, the stronger aspect of the person, that persona, they often have idioms of distress. For severe trauma, what happens, I think, is people can actually split off parts of the personality and components of themselves that are too fragile to deal with. And what happens is that they avoid feeling altogether, because of if you avoid negative feelings, you do not have access to positive feelings. You have some people who stifle the anger, and I kind of think of that as putting a cover over the exhaust pipe of an engine, that if you stifle emotion, the pressure builds up and has to go out somewhere. I think the message is there's hope. Like that stuff can be figured out, and through therapy and talking about it, expressing the emotions are important. A lot of people know what happened to them, but they don't feel what happened to them. One thing that can be beneficial for people with trauma, who sustain the trauma, is creating a better narrative of it and integrating it into their life story. So questions that I might ask somebody is like, okay, so what happened to you that was traumatic? Why did it happen? Why did you respond how you did? And how is it affecting you now? Like, those are kind of like basic things that you cover. So then the person they're not so much of continuing to be a victim, but they're a survivor, and they look back and it's woven into their narrative of their life, rather than avoiding thinking about it, which is what the post-traumatic stress is. It's like you avoid thinking about it because it creates that stress response.
Hey, you're late. I'm hungry.
So am I, John. So am I.
I don't know, she has certain confidence in saying that. And it kind of made me think, like, is she gonna kill him? Like, could she have killed him? I was thinking that, if anything. Like, would she just end it that way?